Hello, and welcome to this edition of Wolves Weekly. Joining me today, we have head track and field coach, Mike Johnson. Coach Johnson, it's been a while since I've been able to catch up and talk to you prior to this championship season.
Well, we've kind of been on, it feel like a Holiday Inn commercial. You know, we've been to so many different places, whether it be conference indoors or local outdoor meets or the national championships indoors in Albuquerque. We've been all over the planet, or at least the track and field planet, as far as our team's concerned. So it's been a busy time.
Well, we haven't been able to talk to you about all this stuff from the championship season, but before we get into that, I'd actually like to talk to you about very prestigious honor 5 individuals off your cross-country team received academic All-American honors.
That's, well, if you look, you know, we run cross-country, indoor, outdoor track, and those same people are all involved. And, you know, when we recruit, I think one of we have 3 things that we recruit on, and that's attitude, academics, and performance. And in a large measure, in that order. Because if you're going to come to school and you can't get it done academically, well, you're just not going to be able to get it done. You won't be eligible, you won't have those other issues. Well, we do a little bit better than just being eligible. And we have people, one of the people in that list, Justin Carr, had to fly in to the conference championships because he was interviewing for entry into a PhD program. And then missed a couple weeks later, missed a couple practices doing exactly the same thing, going to another school looking at a PhD program. And, you know, that's so much what we expect our people to do, is a great job in the classroom, get a degree, go out in the world, and some people would say that graduate school is not the world, but it is to us, and we think it's very important. And all the athletes that we have here have done an exceptional job academically, and there's so many more. We'll see a lot more of those people in track season this year.
And I just want to make a mention and say the 5 individuals that did win. You mentioned Justin Carr. Joining him on the men's side was also Connor Kassler, and the 3 women was Tricia Morrison, Erica Snotter, and Amanda Wright. All did a fantastic job, both competing for you guys at nationals, running for the cross-country team, and then maintaining fantastic GPAs. I believe you needed over a 3.3 to even qualify to be nominated for this, and they all
that and then a certain place in your conference, in your national, or in your region in national meet, in order to get into the qualifying group.
Kind of sounds like you hit on all 3 of those recruiting points, basically having good attitude athletically and academic as they achieve these.
And you do know them. Their attitudes are great. They're just wonderful people.
Well, I'd like to talk to you now a little bit more about what's going on the track and the field right now. Your championship part of the season. You talked to me about the indoor season, and you kind of divided it up into 2 parts. You have your, I can't remember exactly what you called it, and I don't want to discredit it all.
Preparatory, you know, it's preparatory time and a championship time. So whether in those meets, there's kind of training meets, championship preparation meets, and then championship meets. And right now we're blending all those things together. We have just concluded indoor championships, both in indoor track and in the national championships in indoor. And we have people already qualified. We have qualifying marks, or at least provisional marks, for the outdoor championships. So, I don't know, we're running a lot. Guys are throwing a lot, and they're doing a pretty good job. So we're really pleased with where we are.
I'd like to hear about that GNAC indoor really quick. You guys were able to, the men's team was able to win their 4th straight indoor title.
It was probably, of those, the most satisfying win, because a lot of things took place during the meet that could have distracted us from being able to be as effective and as competitive as we might be. And the kids overcame a lot. And towards the end of the meet, if those of you that can go on and see some things on YouTube or in different places, the people who watch the live video stream saw that our athletes kind of went down and lined the outside of the track. And they're down there making noise and cheering on the other athletes and being a team. And if people think that track and field's not a team, they needed to be at that meet and see what goes on.
That's fantastic. And I wanted to make mention really quick of Kyle Lane, who was able to win the long jump at the meet, and he actually was able to be co-GNAC Freshman of the Year. Always a strong accomplishment. I know you're talking about the team effort right there, but we had to give a little shout out to somebody who was able to receive conference recognition.
Well, people like Kyle in some ways epitomize what takes place here at Western Oregon, and that's that we bring in athletes that we think have a great future, and then they validate through their performance what we thought they could do. People that come in and improve. Kyle didn't just improve, but he's consistent in his performance. The things he does, he's consistent with what he does, and that really paid off in those championships. And you know, you could, and there was even some controversy there. They didn't reorder the athletes correctly in the long jump, and he didn't let it faze him. Just went on, won the meet, won the competition in the long jump, and moved on to whatever was next.
I'd like to hear a little bit about, after that, you guys moved on to the Nationals. You guys were able to send a couple people on to Nationals?
Well, we did. Ann and Appleby was in the 800, and yeah, competed reasonably well. Didn't make the finals, competed pretty well. The guys, we took a men's, I think it's the first relay team in a long time that's, you know, certainly indoors, that's gone to the national championships. And it's a very select group that gets in the relays, because they take fewer relays than they do individuals into the competition. And we got in there and placed well, and we have 4 All-Americans as a result of that, and people that are able to demonstrate their poise under pressure and do what they thought they could do, and now have an idea of what they can do and even more.
And I actually want to talk to you about that really quick. You gave me the opportunity to talk to Kyle Larson right after that meet, and the thing that it kind of goes both ways. He was an All-American. You could tell he was happy about that, but I almost thought he wasn't satisfied. They knew that they could have been a little bit better, and I thought that's almost a great attitude of the program. You guys continue to work hard. You guys aren't just satisfied being there at the meet. They want to continue to strive to make themselves better, and especially with this distance medley relay team. You had 2 guys that were individual qualifiers, but they gave that up for the opportunity to compete, as you said, the team.
The morning after that championship, the morning after their race, we'd gone out that night, had dinner afterwards, and the morning after that, we went out for a workout. And there they were, 8 o'clock, downstairs, ready to go, 75 minutes at 5,500 feet, you know, in Albuquerque. And this is just what we do. It's what you do the next day. When they finished, they were the last people on the track cooling down, the last group on the track cooling down. And so when they finish the race, they're preparing for what comes next. And each time, I think that they evaluate what they've done, and hopefully are pleased, in this case, with what they did, but also looking at how that opportunity helps them move on to the next race, the next situation that they confront.
I'd like to hear a little bit too. You talked about the team right there. The men are getting some recognitions regionally. They're the #1 ranked team in the region, in the West region, a strong track and field region in and of itself. Anyway, and actually, you guys have the 2nd most points in the country in this new way that they're scoring.
Well, they have a couple ways. They have 2 ways of ranking. It's a numerical scoring method. It's pretty straight up. But they have one way of scoring, and this is where you see the teams that are nationally ranked teams that are, and that reflects what's taking place in at the national meet, almost as a national meet projection when you look at those rankings. And then when you look at the regional rankings, they look at a comprehensive team. So they score so many places deep in the region, they assign those a point value. That point value is total through all your events, through your entire team. And the total of that is reflected in a score that you get that demonstrates what kind of total team you have. Throwers, jumpers, sprinters, hurdlers, endurance athletes, you know, the whole group. And I think that's one of the great things about our team, is that it's, we have somebody most everywhere.
Fantastic. And the region also passed out some individual honors on there. If you were ranked in the top 5 in the region, as you talked about, if you were to go to this regional duel, or, you had 6 women ranked in the top 5, or all region honors, and 17 men.
Yeah, you know, sometimes in how good the men's team is, we lose track of how good the women's team is, and it is a very, very good team. And yeah, individually, these people rank quite well. I mean, Chris and a couple of others were top of the region. But you also need to take a look at somebody like you know, Matt Keno, who was one of 5 athletes in the country who was ranked in 4 events. And that's an accomplishment in itself. And so you see those people in the long part of that relay, the guys that run the 1200, the longer races, the mile, the 800. Matt's running the 400, but he's not just running that event well, he's running all these other events well in addition.
And Chris Reed actually earned regional track male athlete of the year. A pretty impressive feat. I know he's put in a lot of work. It's kind of he's one that you say I actually talked to him a little bit after. He's like, I never do this for individual accomplishments. It's more of the team thing. And once again, but you're very proud to see somebody like that who's worked very hard for it, get some honor, because like you said, it's a reflection of the team, not exactly the individual.
Chris kind of reflects the attitude we have. You come here to get better. And he's done that. And now he, Kyle, Connor, those people, the people that preceded them, have continued to elevate the level of the program. And as they do that, the freshmen that come in, transfers, whoever it may be that come and join the team, they have the advantage now of already having people at that level that can help move them forward as well. So that's just part of the evolution, part of the plan.
And you talk about moving forward. You guys have moved forward in the scope of the year, and you guys are on to the outdoor track and field season. And I actually like to hear, you were able to bring in your assistant coach today, Isaac Frederick, and I'd actually like to hear from him a little bit just about how the team has been going. You guys have competed in a couple meets already in the outdoor season, and more are on the slate to come.
With these meets, it's allowed some people to rest and prepare for the main competition season, and it's allowed an opportunity for other people to compete early. We've had a couple smaller meets, one up at Pacific University and one kind of a triangular meet between us, Willamette, and Whitworth. But we're really looking forward to some of these larger meets coming up. We have the Oregon Preview this week, Stanford next week, and some more training meets in the middle, gearing up for the main competition season.
And I'd actually like to hear a little bit about what you're doing right now. Talk to me about what kind of groups you're training out there right now. I know everybody's divided up. Throwers, jumpers, everything else. What kind of groups are you training out there right now?
I'm working primarily with the jumpers, the sprinters, the relays. Johnson and I share duties with hurdlers. It's a large group, so we try to manage our time between those.
Thanks for talking to us a little bit today, Isaac. And Coach Johnson, I'd just like to come back to you really quick, and I know you'd never be one to mention it, and you didn't ask me to put it down there, but Coach Johnson here did receive the West Region Male Team Coach of the Year. Got some accomplishments, as we talked about a little earlier. I know it's a good thing. Also pulled down the GNAC Men's Team Coach of the Year. So I want to say congratulations, Coach.
Thank you, Danny. It's and it's nice. I mean, it's nice to get those that recognition. But as you just talked to Coach Frederick, and as you talk to our other coaches and our athletes, the awards in many ways are awards to the program. Because those are the people who get the work done. We all get the work done. And that, again, goes back to reflecting kind of the core of the team and the emotional avenues that we take towards success. But we're grateful and pleased that we have those awards, and thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Coach. And thank you all for watching this edition of Wolves Weekly.